Welcome to a special Papa's Perspective edition of the Giants Huddle podcast presented by Bob's Discount Furniture. Get Bob's Discount at the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Football Giants. Shop in store or at mybobs.com. Well, this week the Giants travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. So when you think of Giants and Vikings, you got to think of the NFC Championship game of 2000. And Kerry Collins, who was the star of the day, takes a couple minutes to join us here on the Papa's Perspective Giants Huddle podcast. Kerry, first of all, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope everybody's fired up for the holidays and enjoying things.
We are definitely. Same thing to you, Bob. And good to talk about this game. It's obviously a special moment in my career, and it's always good to reminisce about it.
Well, when you think about the history of the Giants in Giants Stadium, their first game there was in 1976, and they won an NFC Championship game against Washington. But I think most people would say that the greatest game ever played by the Giants in Giants Stadium was the one that you were the quarterback of in shutting out the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game, January the 14th, 2001. 41-0. When I say Vikings to Kerry Collins, when you hear the word Vikings, does your brain automatically jump to that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what a special day, right? I mean, just the atmosphere, the crowd, being the game to go to the Super Bowl and having a great team like the Vikings coming in and for having to go the way it did. I mean, it was just, it was by far the highlight of my professional career and one that, I always love to talk about.
So I'll get the numbers out of the way first. 28 of 39, 381, 5 touchdowns in the game. You guys you were dominant. Ike Hilliard had 10 catches for 155. Amani had a touchdown and 88 yards. Ron Dixon had 62 yards. I mean, Greg Camella, Joe Juravicius had touchdowns. You spread it all over the place. But I want to take you to before the game, before the game was even played. So the feeling was amongst a lot of people in the media and Giants fans, Minnesota's a dome team. They've got Dante Culpepper. They've got Randy Moss. They've got, they got talent all across the board. Chris Carter, Robert Smith's the running back. They're a dome team. They play fast break. And when the early week weather forecast was predicted for mild for January conditions, like 35 to 40 degrees, everybody said, oh, that bodes bad news for the Giants. They need Giants weather. You guys felt differently, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, going into the game, when we looked at the Vikings, we knew we could throw the ball. I mean, that was the game plan going in. I mean, that we talked about it all week. They're a better run defense than they are pass defense, and certainly going against an offense like theirs, you got to assume they're going to score some points. All right, they're going to score a bunch of points. And regardless of, I mean, our defense was as good as they were. Could we, assume that they were going to stop them cold like they did? No. I mean, so our plan coming in was throwing it, and certainly with the conditions the way they were, it definitely made it easier to throw it that day.
So now in today's world, you win the coin toss, everybody defers. They want the extra possession for the second half. At this point in time in the NFL, teams that won the coin toss usually took the ball. You guys won the coin toss. You took the ball, and right away, boom, you kind of hit him in the mouth. You hook up with Ike Hilliard on a 46-yard touchdown pass, but you never even faced a second down on this. Or that was the second down play. The first couple smacks, you're getting big chunks. How important was that to set a tone early that we're going to move the ball on your butts?
Yeah, definitely. There might have been an assumption on their part that we were going to, kind of ground and pound and try to keep their offense off the field, by running it and putting together longer drives and just, barely moving the chains. But it couldn't have been further from what we were going to do. We were going to come out, we were going to attack, fire, throwing the ball, mix in the run, but we were going to air it out. And that touchdown to Ike, I mean, that was as electric as I've seen it and felt in a stadium. When I was able to hit him, he ran a great route. The scheme of the play was great. got the coverage we wanted. Ike ran right by the guy. I was able to give him a good throw and and get that touchdown. And to see all those flags waving in the stands, man, it was just awesome.
So now the ensuing kickoff, Mo Williams fumbles it. You guys recover it, and now you're starting the possession, deep in their territory. How important was it to smack them again? And of all the weapons you had, and you had a lot of good weapons on that team.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody had Greg Camella for a touchdown catch in the pool on the second touchdown of the game.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And really on Ike's touchdown, we actually motioned Camella out to a wide receiver. Like, we don't ever do that. Who does that with a fullback, right? So Camella was involved with both of those plays. And I take it back. I said that was the most electric when I hit Ike. I think it was the most after I hit Camella and he scored that touchdown. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I mean, obviously you couldn't dream of a start like that. We get the ball back on a turnover on the kickoff after scoring a touchdown, and again, good game planning, right? I mean, we hit Camella on an out and up off of play action, right? I mean, whereas we're spreading it out and throwing it on the first drive, and so that was the beauty of Sean. I mean, they could draw stuff up, man. They saw stuff and drew it up, and it was a great play call, and Camella ran a great route, and I was able to get it to him.
So the defense kind of does their job. I mean, I think they had one first down in the first quarter. I mean, they just kept punting the ball. You guys get a field goal to start the second quarter, so it's now 17-0. Again, they get one first down. They're punting the ball away, and you guys take over on your own 29-yard line, and Tiki rips off a run, and then you hit Ron Dixon on a 43-yarder. At this point, did you feel like I could basically throw it to anybody and get a big chunk play?
Yeah, I did. And apparently I may have felt it too much, because I know I threw a couple interceptions in the game too, so maybe I was feeling a little too much, but yeah, I mean, I remember being in the huddle at times and, drawing stuff up with Ike. I'm like, hey, if you do this, and I never did a lot of that stuff. And so this is one of those games where, I mean, it was, I grew up in the Northeast playing in Pennsylvania, playing football in Pennsylvania. I mean, those are the kind of days that you just dream of, right? I mean, it's cold and it's a big game and there's games on the line. I had games like that at Penn State, and, it's late season, cold weather football. And I just felt like, I was just in my element at that point.
Then you throw a touchdown pass to Joe Jurevicius. So you're like an equal opportunity thrower that day, right? You're like, I'm making sure all my guys get a touch.
Yeah, exactly. Joe made a great catch in the back of the end zone. We ran, again, we run a boot left, which, we never did a whole lot of that. But I know I had Ike again on an inside route, kind of an option route. And apparently I missed another one, because I remember Sean Payton saying, oh, what, you didn't want 6 touchdowns, because apparently I missed somebody in the end zone or something like that. But anyway, yeah, hey, listen, we had a lot of talent. And when I think about that team, I think about those kind of guys. I mean, we were young, we were hungry, we were all kind of coming into our own. We were talented. You talk about Ike, Amani, Joe. We had guys that were hungry and wanted to prove themselves, and I was just extremely fortunate to have guys like that around me.
So it's 41-0. This is like a huge upset as the outside world's considering it. And you guys get the ball back with 12:53 to go in the game, after Culpepper gets intercepted by Sehorn. They never touched the ball again. Now, was Jason Garrett in for the whole series? Was he in that?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And it was all Joe Montgomery. Tiki was out. It was Joe Montgomery. I think I don't even know if Jason, he completed one pass for 4 yards to Ike during the course of that drive. What was it like and it was on a 3rd and 3. What was it like on that sideline during that? It's not often that you go into a 4-minute offense that lasts for 12 minutes and 53 seconds.
For sure.
What was that like? Just being with your teammates as this is all going down, knowing you've accomplished something no one thought you could do.
Yeah, it was a little bit surreal, right? Because that wasn't as I envisioned that game throughout the week. That's not how I envisioned it. Is that I'd be standing on the sidelines with 12 minutes to go, and we'd be up 41-0. But you know, what an opportunity to just kind of take it all in. You know, you're kind of conditioning the NFL not to ever say, you know, oh, well, we got this. But I mean, at that point, you know, we were able to kind of enjoy it and take in the atmosphere that, again, was just incredible. I mean, our fans you know, the painted mud, as Mr. Mara, you know, alluded to.
Yeah, the old grass trays.
Yeah, the old trays, you know, and that, you know, big divots like this that would come up. But anyway, and you know, and you got to give credit to our defense, man. I mean, to shut those guys out like that. I mean, you talk about, I mean, they were loaded, like you said before, and you know, shut them down like they did, man. I mean, that was just unbelievable feat. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's, you know, I played a long time in the NFL, and you know, I had a lot of ups and downs, man. But that's by far at the top as far as memories go.
Mr. Mara, I remember him saying after the game, you know, hey, well, the worst team to ever make it to the Super Bowl, you know, we'll take it. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
doubted you guys, but, you know, you went through everybody, and to win a game in that fashion sort of validated the NFC Championship. Just talk a little bit about, Kerry, and wrapping up, about the Giants, because, you know, you got to Carolina and you had success early on, and then things kind of went sideways for you, and things didn't work out. But Ernie Accorsi, you know, a loyal Penn State guy, he saw something in you, and he believed in you to bring you to the Giants and help turn around a franchise that was, you know, floundering a little bit. And then your time with the Giants proved to be obviously tremendously successful. But talk about that time in your life, and what your thoughts are about the organization.
Oh gosh, man, I can't. I was so fortunate to be given that opportunity, between Mr. Corsi, between Ernie and Mr. Mara and Jim, Sean Payton as a young coach, but you know, and all the guys around me who supported me. You know, you know, Jim used to say, you know, people come into each other's lives at times when they need them, and I think, you know, I needed an organization like the Giants. I needed Jim Fossils and Ernie Corsi's and Wellington Maras in my corner, and because you know, I was trying to turn my life around, and you know, and they needed a quarterback, right? So you know, I'm so thankful and so appreciative of the fact that I got that opportunity, and you know, I tried to do the best I could with it, and you know, that propelled me into a long career, and you know, to play with some of those guys, man. You know, I'm coaching high school football now, and you know, I'm talking about Jesse Armstead. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
look up Jesse Armstead on YouTube. Look up Ike Hilliard on YouTube. You want to see some football players? Like, those are football players, you know? So,
Keith Hamilton, look him up.
yeah, right. Look them up. Look them up, right? Look up Jeremy Shockey. You know, watch him run over people. Amani Toomer, look and see how he fights for footballs. You know, those are the things. I was so fortunate to play with those kind of guys, and in an organization as first class as the Giants. And man, I look back on my career. I played a long time. You know, what, 5 or 6 teams, and those years with the Giants, man, those were the best for me. That was it. You know, I mean, they were great memories. You know, fantastic organization. We had success on the field. I became a better quarterback by being around those guys and being around Jim and Sean and all those great coaches. So, man, I owe so much to them, and you know, I'm just so thankful and appreciative of getting that opportunity.
Well, Kerry, we want to thank you for taking time to share your thoughts with us about the Giants and the Minnesota Vikings' greatest win in Giants history in Giants Stadium. And we really appreciate your thoughts. Again, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thank you so much for joining us.
You as well, Bob. Thank you.
That's Kerry Collins spending a few minutes as we get you set for the Giants and Minnesota Vikings. Thanks for joining us for this special Papa's Perspective edition of the Giants Huddle podcast, presented by Bob's Discount Furniture. Bob's is back with major style and savings on furniture, mattresses, decor, and more for your home. Shop in store or online at mybobs.com. Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store and mattress partner of the New York Giants.